What is up, you heathens and demons, you sinners and saints? My bowl is still smoking. You beautiful, blasphemous bastards. Welcome back to The Raging Atheist. And this stream, I think, has been a long time coming. This is a stream that I have said was the last Smokey stream. Damn, that thing is smoking. This is the stream that is actually the last Smokey stream. I do believe. Or I shouldn't say Smokey stream. I should say Josh stream. Maybe at some point I'll feel the need to cover Smokey Saint again. Maybe he'll not go away like he should if he was a smart person. Maybe he will say something so egregious about me that I have to cover it. I feel the need to cover it. Maybe he'll attack some Christian or some atheist in such a way that I feel a need to cover it. Or maybe he'll rebound from all of this and continue to suck in ignorant-ass people to his cause. And I'll feel the need to revisit all that we have done here. But I really feel like this is the end. I feel like after tonight, I don't need to cover Josh anymore. I don't need to cover Smokey Saint anymore. If he's not irrelevant, if he wasn't irrelevant really after, I think it was yesterday when this actually happened, most of what I'm going to be showing tonight, there's already an issue. But again, a lot of people hasn't seen it, hasn't known it, and hopefully I can do something to help a few more people know about all that went down in this conversation. Smokey Saint's victim has spoken. I'm going to be covering it. And I'm going to really try to, after tonight, follow her wishes and what she wants. And I think she makes a lot of good points. I really do. And I can understand her position. And once we get there, we'll talk a little bit about it. I'm going to start with, I had been considering, do I show like the whole conversation, right? My whole last conversation with Smokey Saint, which is probably about 20, 30 minutes tops. I wasn't in that room for very long. There's parts of the conversation I'm not really proud of. He thinks he caught me because I hadn't read this new shit. I didn't read the conviction. Like I said, Ryan the Presbyterian was where I saw it. I didn't trust him, so I didn't really look at it too much. But I think it's over with. I think it's done. And then I truly, truly believe that this will be my last Josh stream. Maybe I'll have to address Smokey Saint, the internet douchebag, in the future. But I think that this is the last one. So, I've said that 1,000 times. I really don't know what I'm going to do after Smokey's gone, what's going to fill that void, because I do cover him quite a bit. He's like the G-man to my Dragnot, the Shanny to my Dragnot. He's one of the main people I cover, and have so for the last 2 years. That's going to be the hard part about making this the last stream, is if I can stick to it, if I can truly ignore him. All right, I grab an applesauce. My daughter's low; she's sitting at 47. So applesauce time. That'll be the big challenge, is filling that void there, and I think I can do it. I think that this man is deserving of being irrelevant. I think this man is deserving of being ignored. Now again, he's gonna try to sick the federales on me for being a terrorist. I've been thinking about that. That's kind of hilarious. If he actually does it, right, and I end up going to court because the federal government comes crashing down on my freedom of speech. he will end up actually making me more famous and more relevant than I ever would be as the raging atheist. So, I'm waiting for those federalities to bring me some fame. I really am. I'm waiting for those federalities to bring me some fame. I find it hilarious. Like, it's so fucking hilarious. Will Kincaid is swearing up and down that I'm the one doxing him, and that I've sent him death threats, and I've even admitted to doxing him, and that's why I hit all my streams, because all the times I admitted to doxing him, and he's just straight up lying. He knows that's not the truth. It's kind of sad how desperate these people are, and I don't really blame them, because they should be desperate. The nails have been nailed into the coffin. These people are done. And again, this is the end. So I was considering whether or not to show the entire last conversation. And a lot of it is just him making the case for how all liberals are pedophiles, supporters of pedophilia. A lot of it was him trying to come at me for gym majors, as if I'm responsible at all for gym majors in any kind of way. A lot of it was me, trying to rationalize with him and try to get him to just cop up to it, try to dismiss some of it. And I think that that's one of the major mistakes I've made sometimes in dealing with all of this, is that the victim was never really real for me until I watched the stream earlier today. And I do believe the stream happened yesterday. So the victim is a lot more real for me now, and this crime is a lot more real for me now. And if you haven't seen it yet, then I really hope that it's a lot more real for you after tonight. But after watching the stream this morning, I decided that the only part I really need to show of my conversation with Smokey is basically right before he kicks me out of the room, and what he says after he kicks me out of the room. Because I think that that's what's relevant, and I think that she, and you'll meet her shortly, actually saw that, because she references his justifications there. So I'm going to start with that tonight, and then you'll get to meet the victim. I can't remember the name that she was using, which I know it's not her real name, but I just can't remember, so that's why I keep saying the victim. It's Sakori or something like that. But we will get there. But right now we are going to start here. And like I said, this is This is the true burial of Smokey Saint. I wish I still had the old graphics I made with my burying Smokey Saint stream. That was probably the first time I announced I was done with Smokey Saint, the first of many, 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 many. But I do think that this is the end, because I think Smokey Saint is done. So we'll only actually be listening or hearing Smokey's voice just a little bit tonight. Now, I might play this again, and probably will play this again later in the stream once we get to a certain timestamp that I have. Because at first I'm just going to let it play, and then I have timestamps for later. Yeah, it'll be just before the first timestamp that I will actually be playing this again, what we're about to watch. Trigger warnings. Smokey's going to be blaming the victim. Smokey's going to be lying about what happened. So there's all of that. Be ready for it. And here we go. No, I don't really think that this matters so much as to just the general shit that I have.
So what is, again, try to stay on point. I don't care about the other shit. I know you don't like me because I embarrass you, because I show how stupid you are, like women don't exist for 30,000 years. I catch all the dumb shit you say and I make fun of it. I know you don't like it.
I don't think. Oh yeah, thank you, Satori Kenshi. I think it's going to be important that I stop calling her the victim and start at least using that name, because I think that while a victim, she has definitely taken control of it, and I commend her for it. And I think that her wishes should be respected until she expresses otherwise. So I think it's going to be important to show what her wishes are. And I would hope that everybody watching would respect her wishes and understand. But we'll get there once we get there.
Let's separate the two worlds. words.
I do admit I was wrong.
I don't like what you say, so I'm going to accuse you of being a pedo. Let's try and separate that out of the equation for just a moment, okay? And tell me what the charges represent as you've seen now, since you're so good at due diligence
statutory
now.
Rape. All right, so I finally said statutory rape, and I referenced this yesterday, but like he had literally been asking me like 3 or 4 times, and I'm like, Smokey, just tell me. Just correct me.
You don't want to be caught lying again.
Because I hadn't looked at the new shit, right? Like I really hadn't looked at it. I looked at the link briefly that Ryan the Presbyterian had put up, but I didn't really look at it too deeply. And then when I'd gotten back, the link just never worked for me again. I didn't see that information again until I actually went to Thick Shade's channel and clicked on his link.
So go ahead and tell us now what you believe the charges are about. Go ahead.
Statutory rape.
No. Nope. Not it. Go ahead. Try again.
And what's up, chat? No. I haven't recognized the chat. Thanks everyone for being here. I think this is an important.
I honestly didn't look at any of this shit. Just my peripheral vision caught it. I did not read.
And I realize I'm probably a bit subdued tonight, and I'm going to try to find some energy. I had to come home from work early. It totally threw off everything about me tonight. Should not have had to come home early. This stream should have started at 11 o'clock. I'm trying to get a hold of my emotions. I'm not going to go into details on the personal shit of what happened tonight, but needless to say, I'm starting at 8:30. I'm not too happy about it. I'm trying to get over my emotions, and hopefully I'll find some energy and pep up. So if I seem a bit subdued, it's not this. It's just I'm probably starting a bit too early. I should have calmed down a little bit more.
Read any of this stuff at all? And
yeah, so it's not statutory rape. But this is funny. This shows you again that Knock is an idiot and has to lie.
Okay? Then tell me, dude.
Because actually, no, it does. Knock, shut up, and I'll educate you because you don't know how to read. Apparently,
well, I didn't really look at it closely. I said it in your site.
Run around and run.
If we're talking about the new thing that came out, it came.
Ladies and
I
gentlemen,
saw on Ryan's channel. I don't trust shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Knock just admitted that he runs around running his fucking mouth after he hasn't even looked into anything.
He's so triggered.
Thank you.
No, I literally said I only saw. If we're talking about the new stuff that just came out, I only saw.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and I don't trust Ryan.
Let me remind everyone that Knock and Icky and everyone else, the lying cock-sucking faggots that they are.
Have you seen me talk about this new shit that's come out? I haven't talked about it.
Let me finish.
I'm really proud of myself that I'm to the point now he can call me all these names and it doesn't make me mad. I decided not to talk about it.
Oh, I know you shouldn't, Knock, because
that's how used to it I am now. At this point, I've become immune to anything really that Smokey can say to me.
Just get embarrassed again. I'll explain to you why you would be embarrassed. Because again, now you've misrepresented.
If I see it from like more reliable
now you've misrepresented and lied again. Okay,
I don't trust Ryan.
I'm going to ask you one more time, Knock, while you're running your fucking mouth about shit you know nothing about. Go ahead and reiterate to me what are the charges? What are the charges that were actually supposedly
I love it when he kicks me out of
a room.
Just set me straight, Smokey. We're not going to just.
So you don't know? So you're over here running your fucking mouth.
I mean,
if
the dude is 21 and the girl is 13. And it's not statutory rape. Tell me what it is.
Well, the funny thing was, if you actually look up the age.
Now, I want you to actually remember that I said statutory rape and he went on this fucking tirade that I'm wrong. Because that's going to actually become important because it's actually a bit worse than statutory rape. Or, I mean, I guess it's not worse. I guess it is statutory rape exactly. But I consider it worse. But we'll get there. I'm not going to jump the gun.
With the date set up, it's actually not 13, it's 14. And actually, if you paid attention to that page right below it, where it says that none of this is guaranteed.
You have really looked into this, haven't you?
Well, I kind of had to. It's someone that I know. So
it's it's someone he knows. So of course he knows every single little detail of the fucking case. No, you know every single little detail of the case because you're Josh. You was in that courtroom. You know every single detail of that case because you have the paperwork.
I kind of had. Kenny did too.
It's your twin brother.
Which is why Kenny tried to correct you guys, and so did I. Yet none of you fucking retards listen. So that if that was the true date, and she wasn't 13, she was 14. And if it was the date other people said, then it was actually 15, almost 16. So
did you hear that? If it was the date that other people had said, then it's 15, almost 16. Like, how disgusting this motherfucker is, right? And again, she will be referencing this herself. I think that she clearly saw this interaction, and if she did, I'm a bit disappointed in a particular part of my performance because I was trying to rationalize with Smokey, try to calm him down a little bit, and I think I was dismissive of the age 13, like trying to tell Smokey, hey dude, it's okay, you was 21, she was only 13, not that big of an age difference, my dude, and it kind of made me sick as I was saying it because my daughter's 12, and if some 21-year-old were to come up and try to mac on her, I'd be going to jail that night. I would beat that dude's ass. So without a doubt, not my finest moment, not something that I'm proud of. And watching it back, I kind of cringed inside my stomach. And I can only imagine now that I've know for a fact, I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty certain she saw this exchange, how she felt in that moment. And that's that kind of speaks to like how after I've seen the stream this morning, that the actual crime has become real. I was always kind of dismissive of this crime before, because I was more focused on the harm that Smokey had done me, when the greatest harm done here is to the victim of this crime.
So, and it was claimed to have happened 13, 14 years after the case. Now, this is the Me Too movement, ladies and gentlemen. This is what it does. It gives people benefit of the doubt who don't deserve it. So I'm going to ask Knock again while he's been running his fucking mouth about things he admits now he knows nothing about. So I'm going to ask him one more time. Knock, what is the charge that you're running your fucking mouth about this person that you're claiming to be me? Go ahead and do me a favor and tell me what the charge is. What does it represent?
Turn on your camera.
Oh, I'm not doing that. I have no reason to. Now, again, Knock,
if it's not you, that easy, bro.
I don't have time for this bullshit. Knock, I have people. Knock, listen.
Why don't you just stop?
I have people. I don't understand. I'm not doxing myself to satiate you, you dumb fucking queer. So I'm going to ask you one more time.
This is your twin brother that you're protecting.
I'm going to ask you one more time.
This is your twin brother.
I'm going to ask you.
I've asked you to tell me what the charges are, Smokey, and you're just opposite. You just don't want to do it.
Knock, it's not my job to do that. You're the one running your fucking mouth. So why don't you go back to the drawing board? Why don't you go back to the drawing board, do some research, do some due diligence, like the first time you found out that you were a lying faggot.
I don't trust Ryan, the Presbyterian.
Well, clearly you do. Clearly you do.
I couldn't understand why you guys started trusting
Ryan
him again.
has been saying for months, you ran with the same fake shit. Icky said you were wrong.
I started a little.
I
should be getting kicked out. Like, didn't I ask you why you guys trusted him again? Like, I don't get it.
Knock, the idiot who doesn't know how to read.
Trustworthy person on the internet.
Knock, who's an idiot who doesn't know how to read, who thinks women.
See, he's just so triggered and mad at me, and just so triggered because I just, sure, dude. I mean, it's not doxing yourself. Showing your face isn't doxing yourself. You're not giving away any personal fucking information. You're showing your face. You're showing that you're not this guy. You're not this guy. But we know you're this guy. We know it for a fact we know it for a fact now. And I'm going to show everybody why it is fact tonight. And, like I was saying yesterday, I'm here for that. I just got to find a little energy. I just got to get over my emotions. Be focused on this and get in. I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it. Rough evening for me. But we're going to get over it. We're going to move on, and we're going to do this. We're going to end this shit with Smokey Saint because, without a doubt, he is Josh. Without a doubt.
Women didn't exist for 30,000 years. It's going to tell us what a report.
I never said that.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, we got the clip.
No, I didn't.
Give me a break.
I talked about a chromosome that was like,
women didn't exist for 30,000 years. Don't backpedal now, you dumb queer. Okay, no one's buying it. All right. I don't even have
so triggered this morning.
I don't even have.
You need to stop drinking coffee, my dude. I don't even have a camera. Have an ulcer.
Dude, seriously, just answer the question or show that you don't.
Like,
have
I've asked you like 5 times to just tell me.
Okay, goodbye, Knock. Go away. I'm done with you. Go away. I'm done. I'm going to answer questions from other people. I'm done with you. Go make a stream for your 3 viewers about it. Have a fun time. Okay, I'm done. All right. Let's get back to the point of topic, because Knock has no clue what the fuck he's talking about, but he's still running his fucking idiot retarded mouth because he can't.
All right, here comes the important part. What's going to be relevant to the stream tonight?
Read, and he certainly doesn't have any reading comprehension. I'm done wasting time with it. He has no fucking clue. So, again, no one can represent any of this shit accurately, even claiming it's me. And then even the things they claim, they can't get accurate and can't get right. It's just a fucking absolutely unbelievable thing. This is how demons react, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm a demon.
This is how demons behave.
I finally got it. I finally got him to talk about my demon, that I'm one of these demons too. Like, it was so insulting yesterday to hear him speak of all these Christians and their demons and not even fucking include me. That was insulting.
They try to get off on little minutia and try to ignore the evidences that prove that they've been blatantly wrong and lying. Okay, so absolutely fucking retarded. Okay, so anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to draw attention to that, and you would know, as I've said this now multiple times, the charge that ended up being pled to or accepted by this person is basically tantamount to sexting. Okay, conversations that may have had sexual components in nature to them. So any human being that's ever been, hit on by a younger person or sent something explicit is now essentially guilty of that crime, whether they requested it or not, because that's how fucked our system is.
Our system is fucked.
Our system is fucked because it allows young women to actually be predators.
Yes, you're right. You're 100% correct.
I mean, are y'all hearing this shit? It was essentially texting. She's the predator. He's the victim.
Manipulate the system.
Not just young women, but all women.
Well, right. Yeah. Pretty much all.
Now, not what the victim said. Mind you, guys. Here, let me turn my camera back on real quick because I need to look at you when I say this. Mind you, he is saying this merely hours before the victim comes forward. Merely hours, or no, this was actually a day before, because this didn't happen yesterday. This happened the day before yesterday, this conversation. So he's saying this the day before she actually comes forward and gives the real story. So Smokey Saint's lies are laid bare, and she actually references this as something that Josh is saying right now. So what Smokey Saint is saying, and I'm going to point it out, and I'm going to show this again. I probably won't show so much of it because I started it a bit early. That's what you need to hear right there, because she's going to point that out as something that Josh is saying. Josh ain't saying it. Smokey is. That's going to be important. We'll listen to just a little bit more. That's pretty much all we needed to hear, though. He's blaming her. She is the predator. He is the victim. This was nothing more than sexting. She misrepresented her age. He had no idea what he was getting into. He is the victim here. It's disgusting, just like I told you it would be.
Women now, yeah, it's true. That's you can carry that into the other category.
And you can even retroactively claim things.
But see, nobody, if I can get in here really quick, nobody talks about how, how children can also be predators. Like, you literally gave the example of godless girl being 13 years old and doing that shit. I will call.
And this is what I'm saying. Like, Midnight, you're like literally in there backing this shit up. Everybody's like, why are you so mean to Midnight? This is why. This is like, you're literally in there with somebody that raped a 13-year-old child, and you're backing him up. You're defending his statements here. Midnight. Oh my God, dude. For real. Like, for real. You need to check yourself. All right. Now it's time for you guys to meet the victim, if you haven't met her yet. Satori Tenshi. I'm going to start this right near the beginning, so we'll see all the introductions. Probably shouldn't. I probably should have started a few minutes ahead, but we'll just start it from the beginning. I'm going to try to let it play. We're going to let it play for a while. Now, she's going to make a very specific point not to say that Smokey Saint and Josh are the same person. Now, I think she's made a conscious decision, whether it be a legal decision or the fact that she has come to know Smokey Saint on the internet and understands that she, trying to mitigate whatever fallout she's going to experience from this, possibly. I understand her decision to do so, but she makes it very clear. I think that Smokey Saint is indeed Josh. And I'm going to show you guys, and you're going to see it. You're going to see it several times. It's going to be a very important conversation. She wants to go away after this. And I think that everybody should respect her wishes. And while this is very important, I'm going to speak on this one time. But after tonight, Josh is buried after tonight. Maybe I'll have to deal with Smokey Saint, the shitty apologist, attacking people at some point or attacking me at some point. But this matter is dead after tonight, y'all. So without further ado, let's meet Satori.
Good morning from Korea. How are you guys? Hope everything's good. Welcome, GY6. I love your videos, by the way. I gotta catch up some of your videos, but yeah.
They got the annoying.
Yeah, you got the annoyance, yeah. Exactly. Oh, Blaze back up. Wow, how are you? I don't know if you are the one who came in yesterday. Someone came in with another Blaze a backup channel, but interestingly enough, that he or she didn't have wrench, but you do. So I know you're a legit one. David, the special op unit, welcome. Smokey Saint Probation, welcome. Thank you for coming. Lenny Cash, Dr. Kyle Lawyer Can, Unknown. Hey, Rob Reed, how are you? What is it? I sure hope that Linda Emerson hasn't said Smokey News.
I think.
And please, mods, if any of Smokey's people do come in, start trolling, talking shit, please ban them. Ban them. I will unban them tomorrow. But they're not going to be here talking shit during this. Not tonight.
I think that one we can actually get.
Now, if you see Smokey, if you see Will Kincaid and they're not banned, I think Will Kincaid is banned. I'm not sure about Smokey. You can ban them, and that'll be a permaban because I'm done with these fucks.
Guarantee probably hasn't happened.
I don't want to see, please. It's like, ew, gross. Hey, loving Christian, how are you? I don't think Linda's Volkswagen is doing good. I heard that people are going to flag or whatever. I don't know. Why would they?
I should have probably made a timestamp so we could have got to here. I can turn my camera back on now. I should have made a timestamp so we could have got right to the Q&A part because that's kind of the gist of this stream. Ask questions, and she will answer. I didn't do that. We'll just start. I got more time than I thought I was even gonna have now, so we'll just let it play through the intros. I don't think that Thick Shades will be like striking me for using, not playing by. In fact, like I always cut off too much anyway. I could let it play longer anyway. But like if I were to let it play too long for fair use, then I don't think Thick Shades will be coming at me for this one.
They flag for what? Only Josh. If it is false, only Josh gets to flag it. But of course, what do you expect from that coward, right? I mean, oh boy, I was able to catch a little glimpse of, what's his name, Rage, right? Knox hangout last night, and there were a couple of things that I wanted to correct, but like for example. I don't know. Let's see. He was saying that Josh is not a pedo, but in a way that the victim was, older, not like 6-year-old or anything. But as insofar,
yeah, actually, in here, like real quick, I'll step in and say, like, I actually agree. Like, I think I get hung up on that, and I can't even remember the other word. But I think a pedo is a pedo. And I've called him Pedo Saint. I even I think I corrected myself in the middle of that. Like I'm kind of being a hypocrite right now because I've done the same exact thing. Correct me if I'm wrong if Jay Pasik's in the stream, but Jay Pasik talks about this And so like I know that there are different like classes of this, and like if I'm not mistaken, a pedophile is somebody that actually likes really young children, and there's a different word for somebody that likes like young teenager, prepubescent teenagers or whatever. But I think that that's nothing to get hung up on, and especially again reiterating the fact that now the victim and the crime has been made a lot more real based upon this stream. Like I'm fully with Thick Shades here, calling Smokey what the fuck he is, even if it might not be technically the most correct, accurate term. I don't make any qualms about going into Smokey's side chat and being like, hide your 13-year-old children, because he fucked a child, and there's no way of getting around that. And like he's even referenced how long it's taken for this, like it was 20 years ago. I mean, that's actually kind of average for victims to come out. That's why there's no statute of limitations on these crimes, is because it often takes a long period of time before the trauma is resolved enough that the victim can even come forward. And the average, I've looked into this, the average is like 20 to 35 years in these cases for the victim to come forward. And you can see that easily with the whole Catholic Church abuse of the children there. Like, we've been able to really look at these things, and so... It's really disgusting how a lot of his supporters just dismiss it, and they're like, even if he's guilty, blah 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 blah, or he was, they really want to like settle around 15 years and 11 months. Like somebody literally put forth that date. 15 years and 11 months. You know why? Because at 16 in North Carolina is the age of consent. So she was just like 1 month away. They will do anything to justify this person. And I really hope that for each of you, you're affected the way that I was affected when I watched this earlier today, because it made it much more real for me. It made me think of all the times I was dismissive like that I was so fucking absorbed in my own injustices that I felt Smokey Saint had done upon me, that I had ignored that. And I feel guilty and shameful for it. And I just thank her for her courage for coming forward, because it opened my eyes today. I can only imagine the rage it caused in Smokey. And I hope it opens your guys' eyes a little bit. I know it opened Kent Hovind CPA's eyes a bit, because he was telling me as he was watching it live. So I hope it does for you guys what it did for me.
As far as my understanding, pedo is like those guys who have that kind of crap for like 13-year-old and younger. That's my understanding. So the victim happened to fell into that age group. So, that's why he's a pedo. I mean, Josh, he can cry all he wants, and he will try to...
it's sad because this is actually, more what you're about to hear is actually more common than you might think. I remember doing a video not too long ago, and it might have even been North Carolina. It was either North Carolina or Georgia, where something very similar to what you're about to hear happened. And I think it's a problem within very fundamental aspects of the Christian church. I've talked to Misha Popoff, an older man, who talked about how he felt like the older, more established men should be marrying the young women, the 16, 17-year-old girls, because they're more established. They can provide them a good home, a good life, a good future. And I think that this is an issue. This is why I fight against purity culture. This is one of the main things I have fought my entire time on this channel. And I wish I could remember the story. It was so close that I almost thought about like going back and trying to find that stream just to make sure it wasn't Josh that had perpetrated the crime in that story that I did. But like I got a pretty clear image of the guy, and he doesn't look anything like Josh. So it's just so similar. And that's why I think that this is probably a bit more common than any of us want to think. And you're like, well, what? Get to it, Nakasuchi. Let us hear what the fuck is going on. So yeah, I'll try to let it play a little bit.
What? Lie.
All right.
Just like what he has been doing.
Anyway, so
try to lie, thread, fabricate all kind of crapola his way out again and again, and usually it's done by such strawman and lies and smearing other people. But that's what narcissistic pathological liars do. Um, I mean, that's like straight up that case. Like, for example, when I explained knock, when I explained raging atheists about, uh, you know, like 6-year-old thingy, Josh would take that and build up a straw man.
And like when I was watching this back, I do remember like Icky told me about how I was wrong about the 6-year-old thing. So and I should have remembered that because like that's like Smokey's big thing is like Thick Shades always gets that wrong, and I was like, no, I got it wrong for like a day or two. I admit it fully. So yeah, I think I was. As soon as he said that, I kind of remembered that he had told me about how he had corrected me at the time.
Lie saying that
I do believe I had a stream with Thick Shades, just where I brought him on the channel one time.
I said was the victim was 6-year-old. When
I've had so many streams
just simply
now,
means that the victim was 6+ younger than the perpetrator, right, Josh? Which was exactly the case. So. I vaguely remember like correcting a raging atheist at the same time too. Like, no, the victim wasn't 6. It just means that 6+ years younger than Josh. But anyway, his lies against, including my family, right? That's yet another lie, isn't it? It's quite evil at that. I mean, I am divorced, but not for the reasons that Josh alluded, saying that I have abused my children, blah blah blah. It's just ridiculous crap like that.
All right, so I am actually glad that I showed this introduction because right there he's acknowledging another thing that Smokey has been saying, just this blatant lie. I'm glad that he acknowledged it and he addresses it.
Rob should know. He's an attorney. Why we were divorced. But certainly it wasn't because I would abuse my children. That's just crazy. Anyway, I would not take him any seriously at all, especially at this point. He is a proven liar, and I don't expect any truth from such liar. But anyway, let's see. I have someone else other than Brother Rob. I'm gonna ask you, hi, bro Rob. I'm sorry, Brother Bill. I have Brother Bill here. I'm still early in the morning here. I'd like to introduce someone else too. But Wilson? Hey, first, Brother Bill, how are you today?
Yeah, all good today.
Okay, good.
Got me lemon juice.
Will Kincaid can't math or pick friends. A truer statement has never been said, Tatted. A truer statement has never been said. Yeah, in yesterday's stream, I showed a little bit of empathy for the shit stain that is Will Kincaid and told him, Will, just start running away now. I don't know who would win the pool of of the whole like when Will Kincaid is going to betray Smokey Saint. I'm not part of the pool, so I don't know who would have such a short time. I personally give it like a month because I think that I think that Smokey pays Will. I don't know that, but I think he does. So I don't know. A truer statement has never been told.
Juice.
Lemon juice. No beer.
No. Like I said, I'm gonna have to wait until Wednesday. I've got to be strong.
How do you make lemon juice in England? Is it the same way you make it in America?
Well, I don't know because it's watery lemon, if you to be honest. So it's like 2/3 of a glass of water, then some freshly squeezed. After that, you're as good as gold.
He is.
Of course, I went too far.
she's not a child, definitely.
All right, here we go. Let's meet.
But
let's meet Satori.
yeah, and also we have someone else, Satori. She was here before. How are you, Satori? You can introduce yourself, and tell us why you think that this is quite important.
Hi guys, I'm Satori. Kent, you are wrong, and I happen to know that you were wrong. I'll just go right ahead and say it. Let me start out by saying I am in no way going to sit here and say that Joshua is Smokey. And you'll probably understand in just a moment why I am going to say that I'm not going to sit here and tell you all that he is who he is, because I don't know who Smokey is. I do know who Joshua is. I will tell you that I know for a fact that Joshua Nathan Marks Erbell was in courtroom 5310 and pled guilty to a charge of indecent liberties with a child because I was that child. I'm the victim in that case.
Okay, that's
another. I'm so glad Thick Shades did this because I did mention that, hopefully Thick Shades would provide the receipts. He was claiming that he had talked to the victim of the case, and the fact that he provided the receipts in such a way, I think it should bring closure to all of this. Honestly, this stream should be the close of it all. It's done.
That would be quite interesting. Kind of surprise, in a way. I knew about this before. However, I'm sure most all of you here probably didn't know that Satori is actually the victim in this case. Yep, exactly.
For this one, I'm going to be smoking a lot. I'm kind of. This is the end. So I think for this one, I'm just going to throw this up and I'm just going to sit here and smoke weed. I think I'm going to need to smoke weed for this one. I'll just be talking. So I think I'm going to do this. We're going to do that. And then I got that. So then I just got to get rid of that. Bam. Yeah, we'll just do that for at least most of it. And then if I need my camera, I can always come up here. I think that'll work for tonight. So let's hear this. Let's hear a little bit. I'm going to try to let it play, but I got OCD, so I keep pushing that pause button.
It's the truth bomb. Yay. So I love truth, isn't it? So yeah, just I thought I would consider this as a question and answer time. I know it's just kind of like quick. As I have said, I never planned this hang, but Satori did ask me to have this hangout, so I'm opening up. If you have any questions, let me know. If you like to ask a question, please, do so in.
Please let me know if the audio is too loud. It does appear to be getting in the red all of a sudden for this stream. Some streams are just a bit louder, and I know Thick Shades, his audio is louder than the stream I played yesterday or the day before. So if the audio for the video is too loud, I can turn that down a bit. So just let me know.
Capital letter, so that I can actually even address it, and Satori also. And if you can, Brother Bill, if there's any kind of question, and then and we happen to miss it, please remind. I noticed that I noticed that you are better at reading the comments and stuff since you are genuine English. So
yeah, I am actually genuine English.
Right. It seems like we have first question from Saint Tommy. Does Smokey sounds like Josh? I think that is for you, Satori. Does Smokey sounds like Josh?
I'm going to be very very careful here and say that I am not going to say at any point that Smokey is Josh, because I'm I'm not going to put myself in that position.
Right.
Do I think they sound the same? I think they sound the same.
Okay, so sound the same. I hope that you got that answer.
Yeah, we'll put myself over there. I forgot that he will show things on his StreamYard, so you'll want to probably see that. So we'll put myself right over here. That'll work okay.
Tommy, what else? Just if you have any questions.
Right, and again, she's very specifically saying that for a reason. You know, whether it be legal, whether it be fear of more pushback than she would get otherwise. Clearly, Josh knows that this would be her. And of course, everybody, including her, is going to expect Joshy boy to come out and totally say it isn't. But you're going to see that she is going to make it very clear. And as I pointed out earlier, as Smokey was going and blaming her for this, she'll be addressing that as Josh saying those things. And you're going to see it's very clear that Josh and Smokey are indeed the same person. But she has her reasons why she won't come right out and say that, even though she will, in whatever way she can.
Towards anyone here, also like towards me or towards Bro Bill, just don't be so hesitant, and including any Smokey Josh's minions, you're more than welcome. So since Satori, she is a victim, do you recognize this person?
He looks extremely familiar for being at the courtroom. Yes.
Okay, so can you say that he's actually at the courtroom?
Yes.
Okay, so he was definitely not in Noah's Ark, for example. In other words, he was saying that he was since the brown background and all that, and he said that he was in some Noah's Ark park.
The person who I can tell you most definitely was there was the other person in the picture who was sucking down the water.
Right. I mean,
I wasn't paying that much attention to that person.
This one, the one sucking down the water with that, look at the face, so relieved. It's like, whew, I avoided the prison time kind of thing.
The other person I wasn't paying very much attention to. I just wasn't, honestly. So I can tell you at a passing glance, it looks like somebody who was there, but I can't tell you for certain.
Right. Of course. I mean, probably the first time seeing him anyway. So we know the guy.
Ivan, there is a no contact order. He cannot come anywhere close to me. So he's.
And I think that's very reasonable. If you're at court and your abuser is finally facing his due, you're going to be pretty focused on that. You're going to be focused on your abuser. But she clearly recognized Dr. Kenny Rhodes as being a person in that courtroom. And now he's tried to justify these pictures as it was the Ark encounter, because Smokey and Dr. Kenny Rhodes are just gallivanting across the whole area and taking some vacation, a pedo vacation, I guess. But clearly she recognized Dr. Kenny Rhodes as being in the courtroom.
He's not allowed to be here.
Well, better not, and I don't think that he will at all. I'm sure he's like, so to say, to English express it as he's shitting on his pants.
But God willing, it carry on that state and won't leave his house.
So if Smokey, like I said, I don't know who Smokey is. If Smokey comes here, then he's not Josh.
Oh well, obviously, and also there is a condition. He's gonna have to be on camera, right? We are actually saying him as the cartoon character, whether believe it or not.
And I will say the only reason that I even came across any of this was because I decided to Google his name
Right.
because my case was coming up, and I happened across one of your videos, Sam.
Right.
That's the
Because
only reason I even came across any of this stuff.
All right, so this is the first time she's mentioning it, and I don't think that she's going to reveal like the most important part of what she just said until later. But she just said that she Googled his name, and this YouTube video came up from Thick Shades. Oh, the plot thickens, my friends.
I don't know who Smokey is. I stumbled across this completely by accident.
Well, obviously,
yeah,
exactly. So, like, that's just so obvious. I hashtag his stupid name anyway. And I don't think that anyone can and should actually say that, hey, that's Smokey, because obviously Smokey hasn't been on camera except this time, right? And this picture is when he came on camera, the one on the left, plucking out his lips and shaving off his beard, and taking off his glasses and in such a way, disfiguring himself like that to not look like whatever Josh out there. So
Look,
the guy on the left.
The reason that I'm here today is because I have watched a lot of these videos, and what I have to say is this. This war that is taking place between you guys and Smokey, a lot of stuff is coming out that I don't like.
Of course not.
I don't like the fact that my trauma is being drug out in the open because you guys are at war with Smokey. I don't like the fact that my age is being disputed, or that it has come out that I was young, or the fact that Rob disclosed that I was getting on camera for Josh. I didn't want anybody to know that. I hadn't told anybody that. So I am extremely upset that that's now out on the internet for anybody to know, because I hadn't even told my friends that amount of detail. So the fact that a complete stranger read court documents or went into the courtroom and heard that amount of detail and then came out on a video on the internet and said it because you guys are after Smokey, regardless if Smokey is Josh or not, that affects me as the victim.
Of course.
So I have to stand up for myself at this point. I went after justice for something that happened to me. If it's Smokey, okay, it's Smokey, and he's lying.
Right.
The fact of the matter is that Joshua, Nathan, Mark, Serbell, be he Smokey or not, did a lot more than what he took a plea deal for. Okay.
All right, so I want to stop it real quick and just address like what she just said is really important, and it's one of the things that opened my eyes. Because while I covered this aspect of Smokey Saint only a few times, and I've been more liberal with it recently than I was at first when the story came out. Because I'm probably the first 8 months I only made like 2 streams, maybe 3 streams. But since then, I've probably done that at least, if not more. So to know that that's something I never really thought of when I made the decision to talk about this, was the impact if the victim of this crime were to see some of those videos, right? And I'm not sure if she saw those videos. She doesn't really seem to be referencing anything that I said. I never really got specific. I didn't really know the specifics on what had actually happened. So she's definitely talking about Rob Reed specifically at one point there. But that really opened my eyes to just how important it is to try to when you're dealing with these things to realize that there is a victim out there, no matter how long ago this happened, and that this victim did finally make that very brave choice to come out and level these charges against her abuser. And even though she didn't get the justice that she wanted, she got some form of justice. And, you know, that opened my eyes a lot earlier when I watched this. And it makes you grateful that you didn't make bigger mistakes than you made, but it also makes you just more down on yourself for the mistakes that you did make during it all.
There was a victim here, and a lot of stuff happened that I'm not going to speak about. I'm not going to divulge the details for. I don't want more details of my trauma to come out, because he is lying.
And he is going to lie more and more, you know. So I would just like I would just say that just
so. She is more hesitant to just go there right at the beginning, but I think as she goes along and she starts to understand that, while, you know, I've often got angry when I'm in conversations and other people try to compare the abuse they suffered from Smokey Saint to the abuse that I've suffered from Smokey Saint when it's on such a drastic level. Sure, he called you a name. He didn't dox your family. He didn't dox you. He didn't put your child's picture all over the internet or talk about how you raped that child. You know, so I get angry. And compared to that, compared to Satori here, that is nothing, right? So I could understand her feelings here in the in the moment that I heard this, I could totally understand her feelings here as being something very human that I felt in moments myself. As this has, you know, as Smokey Saint has just continuously attacked me and mine.
Stand strong. You know, you've been a very courageous woman, and in fact, you are a winner in a way. You didn't just sit and took your offense or mistreatment or that sort of abuse. And the fact that you are standing up and making yourself clear is quite noble in my opinion. However, there will be certain things, obviously, that needs to be answered because the people are there and we are actually responsible for the truth. I'm not here to attack Josh, really. That case has been done. He is convicted. What I'm here for is the truth. Okay? I'm here for truth. Nothing false, no lies whatsoever. You know, Janet goes, Sam, and explained to her that we all were threatened and needed him exposed. Oh well.
Look, I understand. I understand that, and I truly do. But let me just say this: you can do that without divulging details of what he did to me.
Oh, I mean, what was talked in the court.
Now, and here's the conundrum I'm going to be in this stream, and I'm going to do it once. I'm going to go against her wishes once because, you know, she ends up doing it herself. So we are going to talk about what happened to her in this stream. But after the stream, I'm never going to do so again because she does make it fairly clear that she didn't want that to happen. And I think as she kind of just got going and started reliving it, a lot of it comes out. I think it's important. So I'm going to do it this once. But again, this is going to be, you know, to me, this is the last stream ever. But even if it's not, because I've said that before, after tonight, I'm going to definitely, until she says otherwise, live up to what she wants there. I don't think it'll ever really need to be said again. I think it can be said just by if you come in contact with this person, calling him what he is. I think it could be said in that way.
Oh, of course not. We are not going to discuss that at all.
Yeah, I thought about it, Janet. I really did, and usually I would. But I think it's important to hear it at its speed. There's going to be quite a few dead moments as we go through this, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I'm we're sitting at around 22 minutes now. I definitely want to get back to the part where we bring up Josh's or Smokey's face, the one time Smokey showed his face again. And then after that, I'm going to start cutting it forward. But I do have a bit of time. I'm starting to calm down from what happened tonight. I think for this one, I'll just keep it on regular speed because it is so important. But through the dead moments, I don't know. I might have to figure out what to do once we start coming to those.
What he has done to you and all that, no, obviously not. So, no, without talking about that, we're going to talk about whatever happened in the court that should remain in the court, right? And if anyone is sharing any kind of content of what went on in the court, that's quite irrelevant to what we're going to what we're going to say and what we're going to discuss, right?
Right. But
so obviously,
and on top of that, though, I tried to say something about this the other day too.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have been, not you guys. I'm sorry. Let me reframe what I'm saying. There has been a lot of focus on what Josh and I'm saying this from a perspective of you guys are linking Josh with Smokey, and that's fine. And I understand why you are, and I'm not arguing that there is a connection there. Please don't take me wrong. I'm saying this for myself, in that I cannot say that Smokey is Josh, but
I find her wording there to be really fascinating because I think she's pretty much screaming to everybody that there is a very good reason why she's not doing that, right? And I don't know what that reason is specifically, and I don't think we're meant to. But I think she's screaming and she's trying to make us understand why she's taking that stance. And I respect the hell out of that stance. I honestly do. And I think it definitely speaks to just the genuineness of everything we're hearing tonight. But I think she also does go out of her way to make it very clear that she does understand that Josh is Smokey. And we're going to get there fairly soon. Because she doesn't shy away from telling the truth. She just wants to make this point very clear. She's not going to go and tell you Smokey Saint is Josh. Honestly, you should have figured it out by now. She shouldn't have to tell you that. So she'll tell you if this picture looks like him. She'll tell you if his voice sounds like him. She's going to tell you if that was him in the Jesse Lee Peterson debate. If that was him in the Sister Sunshine video. She's going to tell you all of those things. But she's not going to sit there for her reason, because she cannot tell you that Smokey Saint is Josh. And I think there must be a very good reason why she cannot, because she said it the way she did.
Making jokes about, and I'm not saying that you are, this is a general statement.
No, I haven't seen the end of the stream, Bond. I only got to see probably about the first 2 hours of it because I had to go to work. Now, I'm thinking if I would have taken some time to calm down a bit more, so I wasn't so down at the beginning of the stream and actually finished the stream, would have been interesting. So I'm definitely interested in checking that out after this stream. Now that it's been mentioned quite a few times. All right, I'm gonna let it play. I'm sorry, guys.
Jokes about him being a pedophile and going after 6-year-olds or 8-year-olds or whatever, or making jokes about his victims, be it sexual victims or people that he's threatened or said other things about. It really diminishes the harm that he has done to me or to any other victims. And I know that I am a victim of this. I was able to prove that I was a victim of this, obviously, because charges were brought up and a conviction was made. That doesn't mean that I am the only victim. Obviously, I was the one that was found. I was the one who came forth and said something. That doesn't mean that there's not more people. That doesn't mean there are more people. But I think that through this process, whatever that may mean, this is the beginning of things.
What do you think about?
There needs to be more sensitivity towards people on all fronts of my category and of all categories of people who are being hurt by this.
Right, of course. I mean, that is given, right? So I hope that you can actually feel relieved, more or less, because there is a chance that you can actually talk and feel better even about what you got to express. And we already said that nothing will be said what went on in the court, right?
Yes.
Excuse me.
I'm gonna go fill my soda glass.
So I hope you feel you would feel better as we actually discuss about certain things. However, we are not going to explain about the detail that went on in the courtroom itself, nor are we going to talk about like what happened during when you're a child. Obviously, that's quite irrelevant. Anyway. Okay, so Nikki D, I don't know who you are. I think I guess she. Nikki is saying that I am Dick Shades. I am thick shades. If you do not know how to address others properly, then I think that you should just call me Sam or something. Am I making you feel worse?
No.
Satori?
No, I think this situation has made me feel bad. I'm not directing this at anybody. I have gone through something very traumatic recently. I mean, the 30th was the court date, and it is now April the 5th.
Right.
I've obviously been going through something very very emotional.
Yeah, you're gonna have to you're gonna have to relieve whatever the trauma crap, and it's I mean, I cannot imagine is how how you, well, as I have said, you are a very strong woman. That's all I could say. You are very courageous and a strong person, and that's the thing. What kind of came? How are you? Like, do you believe in Christ? Do you believe in God? Or how did that affect you? Your walk in Christ.
How did this affect my walk with Christ?
Right.
All right, even though I know like thick shades won't come at me for fair use, I am going to pause it real quickly just because, I should. My OCD demands it, all that jazz. But it is important that I continue it here. Should I respond now? I'll go ahead and tell you now. I'm actually glad that she found her way back to God. I would not want Smokey Saint to be the reason this woman lost her faith. So I'll go ahead and say that, but I think it's important I let it continue.
I grew up in the church. I had a very strong relationship with God, and this directly impacted my relationship with God. It destroyed it. I am not going to go into details about why exactly. I will say that some of what happened had a very direct impact, because there was a religious twist on some of it. So for very many years, I did no longer have a relationship with God. I was unsure what I believed for a very long time. I am coming back.
Amen. I hope that your faith will grow strong and stronger day by day. GY6, honestly, story, the thing that angers me most is Smokey showing no concern for his victims. He is a typical sociopath. And I would like to add, he is a typical narcissistic, pathological liar. So I think that's one of the things that a lot of people feel also, right? And I think that's one of the things that why we should be, standing up again.
Let me unmute. Exactly, Thick Shades. I'm so glad that you're here. It'll be nice to have your perspective in the side chat as I go through this. I'm saying this is the last stream, but I still want to have an open room that's going to be kind of open to anybody, whether you be Christian or atheist, that has stood your ground against this bully, Smokey Saint. I think that is going to be important that I do that, and if anybody else does that, if I can, I'll participate. As I was explaining before the stream ended, I forgive no one anything. But I give credit where credit is due in the times that it is due. So, I'm willing to include everybody on that list that has stood their ground against this man. And I think that's important. So I'm glad that you're here. This was a very important thing you did, Thick Shades. And again, like I did yesterday, I have to commend you on all the work you've done. You've stood in the face of adversity. I think that shows utmost gumption, and despite how I know we would disagree on so many things, I can always respect some gumption, man. So big props to you, my dude, for this. I give you full props, and full props to Satori for coming forward like this, man. It is a very beautiful thing, I think.
Against evil, standing up against what's false. Some people say that, hey, Thick Shades or Sam has been on this for months. I'm like, so? Well, you think that I'll sit by, by lies and all these stupid accusations come about,
like I said, I'm not here to say that Josh is Smokey or Smokey is Josh. All I am saying is that I know who Josh is. And,
right. I mean, right. Nobody has, right. We talked about that already. Who's this girl? I guess you're just joining, Tommy.
Let me unmute again. All right, so I've been waiting for this moment here for Praise to pipe in, and I guess there's some shit that happened later in the stream, and like half of me is like I should watch it live, and the other half of me is don't be stupid, knock. So I'm gonna go with the other half of me, and watch it after the stream. But what I did, I was reading the side chat as I was watching the stream, and I did notice Praise come in, and to start like this, who is this girl? Praise I am that I wish that I wasn't. Praise I am that I wish that I wasn't. I really wish that you were not you. I wish that you had stuck to your guns when you told me that what Smokey had said about my child was completely unacceptable to you. I wish you had stuck to your guns then. Instead, you chose to flip-flop for a month. Because your word is not your bond. You don't believe anything you fucking say. It hurt me when you went back on that week because you sat here in my room and told me that what Smokey had done to me in regards to my child was completely unacceptable to you as a human being. And to see you come into this side chat here and who is this girl and then at some points you're trying to placate and like I'm gonna stream right now and Smokey's done and then you didn't stream and now I'm hearing you come in later and call some fucking travesty. I just have to say praise. I wish you wasn't you. I wish I had a genie in a bottle so I can make that fucking wish. I really do. All right, let's get back to it.
She has said herself that she is the victim, and you might say that no, she's not the victim. So that's irrelevant, anyway.
So I'm still unmuted. All right, what's up, everybody that has joined? I see Richard Madsen is here. My boy Chris Myers. What's up, Chris Myers? I see Cass here. It's nice to see you, Kat. I hadn't seen you around. And who else? I saw somebody I really wanted to holler out real quick. Cider and Port. Hey, what's up, my dude? How you doing? Everybody else that has joined. Anybody that watches on the playback. This is an important one. And it is the end. I'm done with Josh. I think this predator has been thoroughly exposed. It's taken 2 years. And here we are.
But Satori is the victim in this case. Right. Nobody's going to say that, oh yeah, Josh is Smokey is Josh. And I especially don't expect that from you. And there might be something legal issues involved and things. However, people will ask, is this guy, for example, Joshua Marks Hormel?
Yes.
Right. Is this guy Maxwell is the same guy?
Yes.
Is this the same guy?
I mean, that's him. I'm not. Yes.
Right. So yeah,
that's him. Yes.
So obviously, we're gonna rest at that. Okay, we're gonna obviously rest at that. So that's that's Joshua. Okay, so.
Oh, of course, Maynard. I did mention you earlier, Maynard. You're my boy. You know that.
Let's see who else is answering. Questioning. Mm-hmm. Tommy goes. By the way, if you want to address any,
like praise. Oh my fucking God, praise. Does praise have humanity, or is he just a whipping boy? You know what a whipping boy is? Back in the day, rich people, they wouldn't spank their own children. They would hire poor children to take the spankings of their spoiled, rotten-ass children. That's a whipping boy. That's praise.
Questions. I please kind of write it in capital letters so I could address it. I can answer this for you, Tommy. Was this Smokey's girlfriend a while ago? No, she was a child. Get it through a thick skull, Tommy. A child. Do you now understand what it means by a child? Here's the thing, Tommy. I don't know what kind of mentality you have, but you think that you could have that sort of relationship with a child? Don't be ridiculous, man. Okay, did I miss any question, bro Bill, while I was paying attention to Satori?
So I see a question here. If Smokey is Josh, do you think I should continue? He should continue on YouTube. No, I don't. Here's the thing. Genuinely, if he were repentant in his heart, I think that would be different. if he could ask for forgiveness and admit to wrongdoing and, truly in his heart feel bad for what he's done, that would be different.
I probably shouldn't have interrupted it there. I'm just saying, I'd gotten to the point that I said I wanted to get to. I do have time. My first timestamp doesn't start around to about an hour and 20 minutes, so I'm gonna let it play for a while. I think her words are important. I think that they need to be heard, especially considering I do have extra time tonight, and I can take my time with this. I'm gonna play it for a while more, and then I'll start going to my timestamps.
But I don't think that is the way that the person who did this to me feels.
And I'm sure there is a reason why, what she said, what Satori said, obviously, and I'm not going to ask her what went on in the courthouse. However, I'm sure that Satori has enough feeling that he was not remorseful whatsoever, and he define repentance as just simple acknowledgement, just like Judas, how Judas acknowledged what he has done wrong, selling out the innocent one, and blah blah blah.
Simple fact is, he's got a seared conscience.
Right, seared conscience with a hot iron.
Yeah, and again, save for an actual real miracle, basically he's.
Yeah, I'm tempted. Cheryl. I have time, but at the same time, I should go to bed around midnight if I'm responsible. So, we'll see how the night plays out. I think it's utterly important. Considering what I've heard about the end, I might want to definitely watch that. So I'm gonna definitely let it play. We'll get through. My timestamps are. We're gonna get through quite a bit of it.
Look, when I was young, I thought that having a older boy man who was 21 and in college being interested in me meant that I was prettier than the girls around me, that I was smarter, that I was better than them somehow. I liked the attention. I thought it meant something about me that made me better. And I did not understand what was wrong with it. I was too young to get it. And the fact of the matter is that he was an adult and he knew better. And when I was 21 years old, I wasn't looking at people that age and thinking that they were attractive and I wanted to date them.
All right, it's so important, and I'm so glad that I didn't stop it where I was like, if I'm going to stop it early, I'll stop it here, because I was going to start the stream at 11 o'clock, so so glad I had the opportunity. Despite the craziness that led me to have the opportunity to actually be able to listen to more, because that is so important. What she just said right there is utterly important. As a 13-year-old child, you just do not have the capability to know enough about the world to make the decision to be with this 21-year-old man. It is very predatory behavior, especially in the age and the times we live. Even 20 years ago, this was unacceptable behavior. And we've changed so much in just 20 years. It might be hard to imagine that. But even 20 years ago, this is unacceptable behavior from a grown-ass man. My daughter just came into the room. She's 12. She's 12 years old. to imagine having a 21-year-old man coming at her in this kind of way. This is what predators do. They groom their victims. They make them feel special. The video that I covered of this before, the very similar story, the dude did the same exact thing. You make them feel special. You make them feel beautiful. You make them feel prettier than everybody else because they have such a mature adult already that cares for them and loves them for the perfection that they are. If you've ever seen the movie Lolita, the only version of it I've seen, and I've never read the book. It's a book that I've considered reading, but the movie disturbed me more than I can say. I saw the Jeremy Irons version of the movie, and you see this. You see this obsession by the older man, even though Jeremy Irons is much older, but the girl in question is around the same age. You see the obsession. You see the grooming. You see the taking advantage of certain situations. A person that has experienced much more taking advantage of somebody that really just hasn't experienced that much yet. So I'm so glad that I had some more time tonight, even though it was what it was. So yeah, we're going to continue.
That's all I've got to say.
No. Of course, I mean, that's how the most of the times that's how this sort of thing happens. You know, this.
Yeah. And so a lot of people who have this happen when they're younger don't press charges until they're older because it takes a long time before they work up the courage and before they're able to do it. And honestly, I thought the statute of limitations had passed. I did not know that there's not a statute of limitations for sexual crimes against children. There's not. If anybody's listening and that applies to them, guess what? There's not a statute of limitations. You can report the crime. If it's
Yeah, Richard, I would suggest maybe going back and watching some of my streams. I don't have it pulled up, and at this point, this being the end, I don't think that I should. So, Richard, just for one, you're gonna seize evidence, so just be patient. Like I said, I have timestamps, so we're gonna nail down that Josh is Smokey. Do not worry about that. But that's already been nailed down. So I would just understand that a lot has happened since March 30th of 2022, Richard. But don't worry, just be patient. If you don't have time, come back and watch it. There's no doubt that Smokey Saint is Josh. None. I am burying it tonight, Richard. It is done tonight.
It's happened to you, you can contact the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. You can do it online. You can call the phone number. They're wonderful. They're great. You just have to call them, contact them, let them know what's happened to you. They can get you in contact with resources to report the crime that's happened to you. No statute of limitations. That's what I did.
Is that like 1-800 number? Do you have a number with you in handy, or does it only like?
I can get it. Give me just a second.
Okay. Yeah, if you have that, that would be great because I mean, Josh has been doing this not just to you. He has been doing that to other people, obviously, and he's been threatening, for example, like Blaze. Go ahead, bro. Any questions out there? Because I'm missing. The comments are going up so quickly. So
the phone number is 1-800-843-5678.
1-800. Let me just type that here in the comments.
That's 1-800-843-5678.
843 57
5678.
5678. Oh, all right. So you heard that is 1-800-843-5678. There you go. I put that number in the comment also. So no limit to that sort of things. Timing.
And again, it's important people understand that. As I said earlier, the average time it takes for a victim to come out against their abuser is anywhere from 20 to like 35 years, if I'm remembering that data correct. It's a long time. I remember when Roy Moore was running for senator, and people were talking about, well, why are they talking about something that happened 40 years ago? These things take a very long time. The trauma has to be endured. And then especially in certain areas and certain dynamics, considering a person like Roy Moore is this famous, he was a sheriff and then a governor and then, running for national fucking Senate. It takes a long time for people to work through these things. And imagine feeling after like, almost 20 years of thinking about it, of justifying it, of telling yourself you loved him and he loved you because he made you feel that way. 20 years you come out and you say, no, that was not acceptable. I'm a grown adult now and I don't do that. Man, God, I just admire that shit. I admire the fuck out of that shit. I've never had to experience that. I've experienced some rough shit in my life. I've never had to experience that. I've never had a Smokey Saint in my life until recently.
No.
And I was lucky, I just came in contact with this monster on the internet.
Statutory period. Kent Hovind CPA says, can she tell us more about his probation restriction? Do you know anything about this?
I don't know. All I know is that it's supervised probation for 36 months. I really don't know what that means. I would assume that can probably look them up. It's probably something that is public, what supervised probation means in the state of California. I don't know.
I would think that like regular probation is like, you report time to time, and supervised probation is like you have designated the probation officer, and then he will come to you or your house or whatever and inspect you and things like that.
I don't know. I mean, it's public record, so
right.
Yeah, I'm not sharing anything that's not something that somebody could walk. I mean, the courtroom was open to the public, so anybody could have come in and sat down and listened. So I'm not sharing anything that somebody could not have come and sat down and listened to.
Okay. Here's a question from Bruce, Blessed Bible Fight Club. Does it bother you hearing there is a guy online crying victim in relations to being taken advantage of?
I'm not sure what you're saying.
Like, for example, like Josh would be crying victim. He's like, oh, I haven't done anything wrong. Is that whatever her fault?
Oh, absolutely. I think that I heard something about him saying, oh, yeah, that this has to do with the Me Too movement, and that that the Me Too movement has ruined his life, and that the only reason that I did this was because of Me Too. I would just
who said that? Smokey Saint.
Like to go on the record and say that Me Too had absolutely nothing to do with this. I reported this in April of the year before Me Too happened, and he was arrested October 4th of that year.
She's literally talking about shit that Smokey Saint's been saying right now.
And I believe Me Too didn't happen until something like October 18th, 17th, or 18th of that year. So Me Too happened after I reported it and after he was arrested. So Me Too had absolutely nothing to do with it. The reason that I reported it was because I was going to school to get my master's degree in forensic psychology. By the way, if anybody wants to say that there's no way that I'm the victim of this crime, go ahead and argue, because I sure do seem to have a whole lot of details about it. Anyway, I was sitting in class and my professor happened to be the chief deputy of the United States Marshal Service Behavioral Analysis Unit, and told me that there was no statute of limitations on.
I'll look at it, Brett, but tonight, no, I don't think tonight I'm doing anything I haven't watched yet. It's too big a night. Again, maybe I'll choose to do something else if more comes out. But for me, it's dead. I'll definitely watch it, and then see what I think.
On child sex crimes, and that pedophiles tend to have multiple victims and don't stop victimizing. And when I heard that, I knew that I had to do something about it, because if I was not going to be the only person who had been victimized, I had to take action. So I took action that day. I walked up to my professor, told him I had been a victim, and asked him what I could do about it. And he sent me to the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children. I walked out into the balcony of my school, picked up the phone with my best friend standing next to me, and with tears in my eyes, I called and reported the crime.
Wow.
Just, another part, and glad that I'm playing it. I'm probably going to skip forward. I'm glad I listened this far, because just another part that puts a reality to this right now, I think. Personally, for me, I've done a lot of activism in my life, and one of the aspects of my activism, and I've talked about it, is dealing with battered and abused wives, getting them into halfway houses and such. And I can't tell you how many heartbreaking stories I've heard. And these are always some of the worst for me, because, I was lucky enough to actually have an innocence, I think, to not have my innocence taken away by anybody besides myself. And I think that that's how it should be. That's how it should be. That's what I want more than anything for my daughter. I want her to decide when her innocence is gone, not anybody else. I want her to be able to make that decision responsibly. So to hear these stories, it's heartbreaking for me. And I'm glad that I made it this far, because I think that just lends another element of just how actual real this is. But I do have quite a few timestamps that I do want to get to. And I should be responsible, since I ended up with time tonight, that I don't have to do this and stay up super late and suffer from sleep, to actually try to get a full night's sleep and wake up in the morning and consider how I move on as the raging atheist, now that this Icky Taint is no longer something I should consider. So I think we're going to move forward. But I highly recommend everybody to watch this entire goddamn thing. I really, from the deepest part of my heart, even though I haven't seen the very end of it yet, the last hour or so, and I'm going to, I won't be going to bed, I don't think, once I end the stream, but I'll be thinking about it and listening to at least part, if not try to see what the hype is about. But, after a year of all the speculation, after a year of trying to defend why I've made the decisions I've made on this channel to go against Smokey in the way that I did, to continue it even in the face. Like, I quit YouTube because I I had come to the conclusion I should have protected my child sooner from people like him. That I failed my child because he is such a fucking rotten human being. So, to know the truth about him, to know that this is just something that is not only the current Smokey Saint, but the Smokey Saint of all, I think is vitally important. And I think moving on from this predator is vitally important. Vitally important. You know, Christians have been saying something. I noticed it in the chat, and that Smokey and his crew has been kind of mocking it, railing at it. But they say mark and avoid. And I think sometimes you have to give strategies due, even if you stand in opposition. Mark and avoid. He's been marked now. And I think it is time to avoid. So we're going to skip forward to about 1 hour and 20 minutes. And before we actually get there, so I'm going to actually come up here. Before we actually get there. Oh, no, not this one. The next timestamp. I'm actually going to show what I showed at the very beginning, which is what Smokey Saint said in our last conversation. So we're going to go to 1 hour and 20 minutes here, and then we'll cut back to that. And most of these timestamps are actually before what I want, so we will get there.
There are resources. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. You can Google it. You can make a report on their website. You can call them. They're wonderful. They are trained to take these types of reports. It doesn't matter if it was somebody that you knew, if it was online, if it was family, if it was a babysitter. It doesn't matter. You can do something about it. It doesn't matter if you were 7, if you were 3, if you were 13. It doesn't matter if it was 20 years ago, if it was 30 years ago, if it was 7 years ago. There's no statute of limitations. So
unmute. Yeah, so if you've been abused, there's no statute of limitations. Come forward. It's not too late. That's vital that you know that. And yeah, to Brett, yeah, we've all seen the Sister Sunshine video.
If you or a victim, if you experience this, if you know somebody who was a victim, contact the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children and do something about it. You deserve justice. And you can do something about it. It took me much too long before I did something because I didn't know that I could. I wish that I had known sooner. I would have done something sooner if I knew that I could.
Awesome. Just a little bit of announcement, please, that let other people have their say, including any kind of trolling comments. I understand that some people are being timed out for joking around, and I think because that obviously is not a joking matter. So if you can actually reserve yourself from any kind of joking around. However, as for Maz, please let others speak, and and oh, by the way, Aris, I don't know if you're still listening. I just given you the mod also.
So with all these timestamps, they'll eventually get to the part that I want. So we're getting there.
So yeah, let's take it a little bit seriously, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I understand that, Janet. But I read what Aris has said, and I don't think he was talking about Satori. But if he did, then you're gonna have to watch your mouth, Aris. But yeah, so when you do say something, try to kind of rethink a little bit.
Thank you, Ivan.
Yeah, Ivan. Let's see.
I just got to mention as well, Sam. We've got obviously Blaze in here.
Hopefully, I didn't miss it. I'll let it play for a little bit longer. But what I have written down, I haven't heard. So hopefully, I didn't miss it.
And she's obviously a victim of mental, psychological, and emotional abuse. Right. Even Mary Titus is in here now, and she's been emotionally abused to the hilt the last few days. So even on that level, I believe good will come from. I know it's been hard for you to come out and do what you're doing, but on that level, I think it will do good. God will make right the wrongs that were done. I really believe that.
Amen. There's always a reason for certain things, and if there's any kind of,
I think we're getting there.
Test, it's not something that we should be fear, nor anything that we will not be able to overcome. When a test is given, obviously that is to further our faith. So, I guess God loves you a lot, Satori, and He wants you to have strong faith, even stronger to come. It seems like,
Thank you.
Any other question, please, guys? If you want to address any question, please write it in capital letters. Mary is here.
Thought she would have said it there.
Mary Titus, I'm here just listening. I heard about you being victimized again. Not just that ridiculous casting spell prayer.
Like at this point, we're so close to my next timestamp. I just gotta let it play through. Hopefully I didn't miss it. It's I don't think I missed it. It's like right around here, I think.
Ever. Yeah, I knew that sort of things would happen. So, yeah. Please be careful that others respect the victim's influence, she said. If she.
All right, so I must have missed it. She essentially says Josh's face on a YouTube video is how she found out about the internet. That's what I have written down, and I just didn't hear that. And that's essentially saying when she Googled Josh's name, a video from YouTube came up with a picture of Josh's face on it, and that was the Thick Shades video. It's how she found out about Smokey being on the internet, about how Josh being on the internet. I missed it or I wrote down the wrong timestamp for that. So my next one better be correct. I was kind of rushing as I was doing these timestamps earlier. I'm going to go to 127, but we're not going to actually watch that. So I'm going to come up here and hopefully like it wasn't like, cause I don't know why I would start a timestamp so early and then not hear it. So I just must have missed it. So we're going to go to like here. And then I'm going to pull this back up and go back a little ways. So this happened 2 days ago. We're going to go back. Because it's. To like here, I think. We'll see where we're at.
Diligence down. You don't want to be caught. You don't want to be caught lying again. So go ahead and tell us now what you believe the charges are about. Go ahead.
Statutory rape.
No. Nope. Not it. Go ahead. Try again.
No.
I honestly didn't look at any of this shit. Just my peripheral vision caught it. I did not read any of this stuff at all, and I didn't get into it.
It's not statutory rape. But this is funny. This shows you again that Knock is an idiot and has to lie.
Well, then tell me, dude.
Because actually, no, it does. Knock, shut up, and I'll educate you because you don't know how to read. Apparently,
well, I didn't really look at it closely. I said it in your site.
Just run around and run around and run.
If we're talking about the new thing that came out,
ladies, you were wrong. You got it wrong because you're an idiot.
Like, didn't I ask you why you guys trusted him again? Like, I don't get it.
Knock the idiot who doesn't know how to read.
Trustworthy person on the internet.
Knock, who's an idiot who doesn't know how to read, who thinks women didn't exist for 30,000 years, is going to tell us what a report.
I never said that.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, we got the clip.
No, I didn't.
Give me a
I talked about a chromosome that was like,
women. Yeah, and you said women didn't exist for 30,000 years. Don't backpedal now. And he certainly doesn't have any reading comprehension. I'm done wasting time with it. He has no fucking clue. So, again, no one can represent any of this shit accurately, even claiming it's me. And then even the things they claim, they can't get accurate and can't get right.
Here we go.
It's just a fucking absolutely unbelievable thing. This is how demons react, ladies and gentlemen. This is how demons behave. Okay, they try to get off on little minutia and try to ignore the evidences that prove that they've been blatantly wrong and lying. Okay, so absolutely fucking retarded. Okay, so anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to draw attention to that. And you would know, as I've said this now multiple times, the charge that ended up being pled to or accepted by this person is basically tantamount to sexting. Okay, conversations that may have had sexual components in nature to them. So any human being that's ever been, hit on by a younger person or sent something explicit is now essentially guilty of that crime, whether they requested it or not, because that's how fucked our system is.
Our system is fucked.
Our system is fucked because it allows young women to actually be predators.
Yes, You're right.
All right. So this timestamp better be the right one, or we'll just listen to the shit through, because let's hear what she has to say.
Is about what took place. Sex occurred. A lot of different things occurred.
Oh, so that one's just like a little too soon. Holy shit! So let's go back here. We'll go back to about a minute.
A lot of people think that all pedos would be heading to prison, but not all. In fact, like most of them will not end up there. However, their names definitely will be on the registry, and once the name is on the registry, obviously that's that's it.
I will also go on the record and say, indecent liberties with a child is a charge that can cover a lot of different things. That gives a lot of room for hiding behind a lot of different lies about what took place. Sex occurred. A lot of different things occurred. It wasn't just sexting. It wasn't just one thing that happened one time. A plea deal was made so that there were a lot of factors that went into doing a plea deal. One of them was so that we wouldn't have to go to trial, so that I wouldn't have to go through trial. That was one of the factors. So
Smokey Saint is absolutely one of the most disgusting people I have ever come across. I've come across a lot of bad ones. I've dealt with a lot of bad ones. He came down on me so hard for answering statutory rape when he was having sexual intercourse with a 13 and 14-year-old child at the time. He's gone out of his way to try to portray her as 15 or 16 as if that justifies it. He groomed her into thinking she loved him, a 13-year-old child, and had sex with her. He would fly from California to have sex with her. And he would dare sit there and berate me for calling it statutory rape. Honestly, berate me for calling it that. Let's continue a bit.
Take that for what you will, but you've heard it.
I don't think that there's a reason why he hired quite expensive female lawyer.
Oh yeah, she was one of the most expensive lawyers that you could get in Charlotte.
Mm-hmm. And female also. So I mean, obviously he doesn't want to have any prison time, and just like what you have explained, Satori, that covers a lot. But the point here is not just sexting. Okay, it's not just sexting. Which
like the audacity of him to sit here on the internet, blame her, call her the predator when he did that to her. To the point now, like she talks about it, and we might hear it in one of my timestamps, but they're rather specific. She talks about it, like how she still cares for him. She probably battles with herself on it. How she's forgiven him. How it was hard for her to come forward because she had already forgiven him by the time she came forward. How she had gotten married and how her husband had totally helped her through that trauma. How she realized a man can be good. It's almost, it kind of it reminded me of that Kelly Clarkson song from the American Idol shit. If you guys have ever heard that song, it's a beautiful song. It's about her dad leaving her, about her husband helping her through that trauma. For Smokey to sit there and portray this and, to deny it for a year, and then to sit there to me and tell me how I'm just such a dumb. I mean, you guys heard all the things he said when I said the word statutory rape. For him to berate me for that, when to me what she just described to you is so far worse than just that. This man who found her on the internet, made her feel super special. I don't see how I don't have the timestamp for when she talks about, because Smokey's been going around saying that both families were accepting of the relationship, right? I don't have it written down that I have this timestamp, and I wish I had the time to just go through it all, because there's this point where she's talking about, Smokey's been saying that it was like this consensual relationship that both families approved of, and she just literally debunks that entire fucking notion. Her father did not approve. Her father took away her phone, forbid her from seeing him. Her mother did not approve. She was a 13-year-old girl. He was some 21-year-old dude from fucking California. He made her lie about her age, and he lied about his age, and it's such a disgusting fucking thing that this man did. It's so just bemoans the Smokey Saint I've come to know. I didn't really write any notes for this one. I just said important. So maybe I just talked about what this one is about, maybe, because I did say important. I don't know why I didn't write it. Like I said, I was in a rush. It was like right before work and shit. So 135:01. is probably good enough.
Actually, they kind of like hide away in a way, but not in this case. I really give it to Satori. It's just standing up against what is quite.
I didn't see any phone numbers. Yeah, let's please not post any phone numbers, please.
False, and also encouraging other people out there to stand up. Exactly, Janet. We have your back.
Thank you.
What's going on with Ryan? Ryan claims I tried to get him to self-harm with my little Mimi videos. Who cares about Ryan? That guy has been trying to take advantage of anything, any opportunity that he can come across with,
Well, that's what he is. He's an opportunist. That's why he isn't worth his
Jace, it's been already presented that Satori was able to confirm that all the images that I've shown her is Joshua. Since he doesn't, I'm sorry, since she doesn't know how Smokey looks like, but when the picture was shown, that very image that him denying now, Satori was able to confirm that is Josh, aka the Smokey's image, Smokey's picture.
So the video you're referring to, Jace, the
Jesse Lee Peterson?
Yeah, is that the religious show video?
Yeah, it's Jesse Lee Peterson. Many of us consider him as a cult, but his cookie and things that he says. But
oh yes, now I remember why this is important, because this is the Jesse Lee Peterson video, y'all. Was that Smokey Saint in the Jesse Lee Peterson video? Or was that Josh in the Jesse Lee Peterson video? Is this the reason why Smokey Saint had to deny being in the Jesse Lee Peterson video?
Josh went on his show one day and had a conversation with him, and he was quite prideful of such interview, and he was sharing the link with others, and that's one of the reasons why how other people found out about how he looked like. But one way or the other, later on, he denied him. He denied that person being him. So I don't know why he would deny it. And then he changed his name to Carl. I'm like, oh, whatever. I mean, I found out it came out that I guess he was shameful of his weight gain. I guess whatever that happened after Mecklenburg, he gained a lot of weight, and then he lost weight about 100 pounds.
Kind of
I'm sorry, what?
He was kind of big when I met him.
Oh yeah, he's a big guy. 6'3", and
I believe it's just 4.
6'4", yeah, 6'4", 6'3", yeah, big person. For example, like this, like here, I made a little I put the glasses on on the mug picture. You gotta pardon me. I know that he has really crooked, bad teeth, but I had to put smile and nice teeth there. The picture was on the mug picture when he got arrested. The one in the middle is when he's was on Jesse Lee Peterson show, and the one on the right obviously is just how he came on when he was on camera for a while, very briefly.
When I met him, he was in college. I'm not going to say where in college because I think I probably shouldn't. But yeah, he was in college.
Are you sure that he was in college?
He didn't graduate.
Oh yeah, that's the point. Unfortunately, yeah. You high school dropout? No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. Can she tell us? Was he in seminar when she knew him? If she wants to answer or not. So, was it a seminary, some kind of seminar, so-called
Seminary?
college?
No.
Oh, okay. Just regular college?
It was not a seminary.
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, the link has been already provided. I think I don't know if it is on this video. I hope it is. Uh, you will be able to find the interview with Jesse Lee Peterson and Sister Sunshine after that. So you can actually check out the link. And
I don't know if he went to seminary, but it wasn't when I knew him.
Mm-hmm. Whatever. The point is that he never graduated. Yeah.
He did not graduate from the school he was going to when I met him.
He's lying about going to seminary school. I think I would agree with you, PMR. I mean, at this point, I wouldn't even believe him, even if he says the sky is blue. So.
All right. I'm not quite sure if she answered to the Jesse Lee Peterson one yet, but it's coming, and the Sister Sunshine video is coming, as far as I remember it, anyway.
It's, all those lies and things that he has said, not against the victim, not only that, but also against all other people.
I've seen the Sister Sunshine clip, and it looks like him. He's got a hat pulled down over his head.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it clearly says Smokey Saint, obviously, with a hat, but there's at least a couple of times that he was looking up. You can obviously see that that's Josh. What subject was he studying? Do you remember?
All right, so I'm pretty sure that she answered that the one in Jesse Lee Peterson was Josh as well, but I missed it there, and I'm kind of sidetracked. It wouldn't be the first time, and I did it earlier in the stream, but she definitely said, without a doubt, that I heard right there, and this playback is at 141 around there. The guy in Sister Sunshine's video is Josh. He has a hat on, but it's Josh. So we're gonna skip forward to 146. And my note on this is Smokey Saint is Josh. So
Smokey, aka Josh, I have no doubt in my mind. Smokey never been on camera except one time. Okay, and that when he was on camera, and the image when it was shown to Satori, she confirmed that is Joshua. So I'm going to put it at that's it. I mean, that for me, that's confirmation exactly where that is.
Cutter,
I mean, obviously,
I need to keep saying it. I need to protect myself. I do
right.
need to keep saying it.
Exactly. So obviously, that's all I need to hear. What more can you actually ask for? I'm not going to say like, therefore, blah blah blah. No, man. So here's the thing, right? Josh can just simply clear things away by just being on camera. At least 5 minutes or whatever, or 10 minutes live, whatever. You just sent the question again. Are you sending it to my email?
So, when it comes to Smokey Saint being Josh, there just isn't much of a doubt. There's no doubt. Smokey himself pretty much lapses now in the course of his insanity into being Josh publicly on streams. I asked the question in our conversation. I showed it at the very beginning of the stream. Like, you seem to really know a lot about this case, Smokey. And he was like, well, it's my friend. So, of course, I know a lot about this case. And then he went into his tirade about how it was the victim's fault after he kicked me out and shit. So it was Josh in the Sister Sunshine video. It was Josh in the Jesse Lee Peterson video. It was Josh she was talking about as she talked about how he was talking about sexting. The conversation that me and Smokey had just 2 days ago. It was Josh in the picture of Thick Shades video that let her know that Smokey Saint's here on the internet as well, that he's denying these things. She mentioned that. She mentioned several things that Smokey Saint is saying on his channel, so she's paying attention. She's wholeheartedly probably already under attack by Smokey Saint and his minions. I have no doubt already they are attacking this person here. And while for me, this is the end of the Josh saga here, and I'm like so tempted. Like I'm gonna look at you right now, and like I'm so tempted to like honestly, after doing all those skip forwards, because I mean honestly I've got one more timestamp here, and I've still got literally an hour and 20 minutes that I can still technically stream. I'm thinking I can probably just continue watching. But I'm not sure. I think I will watch for a little while longer. But I'm not sure. I mean, should I watch when praise comes into the stream? I'm looking. Is that praise there? I can't tell. No. Said it was near the end. Does he come in on his like real face avatar? Bruce, I don't see praise. Maybe I shouldn't watch it. When praise comes back in. All right, we'll skip forward. We'll skip forward. Tell me if I'm like too far ahead here.
He's not able to sue, so to say, or make charge to anyone. It's because he's going to have to be, he's going to have to show up himself.
And with that, yeah, I'll catch you guys later, Bill. I look forward to talking to you, friend.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming by, Kevin. God bless you.
Yeah, thanks. You too. Take care, fellas.
God bless, mate.
Hey, Bruce.
Like the 308 mark is like the very end. Look at chat. All right, so look at the chat. All right, I got you guys. All right. So we're about I don't know, a half hour out. Maybe we'll So you guys are talking praises in chat. I get you. All right, I understand. I can't go too far up. I don't see praise. All right, we'll go from here. I think this will be good.
Bruce, how are you?
All right, I'll make a thing to look at the chat as I go through this. But I am gonna step AFK for a second, so I'll have it on headphone or on speaker.
I'm doing okay.
Oh, your audio is kind of low.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, well, boy, I came in and then he chased everybody off.
You're like go way to the very end. All right, 258. Should be like here, right? All right, what am I looking for? So I am at so I'm not there yet. All right, so Praise says, I was informed with real details of the case and she's lied several times. Satori is lying. Dum da dum dum dum. Holy shit. Praise I Am is such a piece of shit. All right, so Praise is the ultimate sycophant and believes Smokey Saint. So Praise I Am right here is like literally. All right, so let me real quick, 1 second. So Praise I Am is like literally saying that Smokey Saint has given him details of this case that isn't about Smokey Saint. So if Praise I Am has details of this case from Smokey, isn't that like, I don't know, against the law? Right? Like, I don't think Smokey can give details of a case away. Like, did Praise get these details after March 30th? And doesn't Praise find that highly suspect? Wow. Like Praise I Am a pedophile protector. Yeah, I said it earlier. Here, we'll go back up here. Man, wow. I said it earlier. I mean, at this point, it wasn't even a doubt to me. I don't know, 6 months ago. I had no doubts. But at this point, since March 30th, and since Smokey has went on his tirades and done the things that he's done, and but how many times his story has changed, and the fact, like, all right, so just consider this, right? So consider that that Smokey isn't Josh, right? Why didn't I get that cease and desist letter from, I don't know, about 9 months ago? See, I mean, it's pretty simple, right? Cease and desist. You must stop doing this or we are going to press legal action against you. Like she literally went out of her way to tell you that Smokey is Josh without telling you that Smokey is Josh because, you know, she just got out of a legal battle with this dude and has probably been advised to do exactly that, you know, by her, you know, legal team. And for Praise to be just such this utter yes man. Holy shit. Thank you, Bond, and y'all for that timestamp. Wow. Wow, man. Wow. That's just atrocious. And it speaks to, like, you know, how Smokey's going to be able to get these really weak-minded people. He's just going to be able to. They admire his antics. They think this is real Christianity. They think that this is how the world needs to be, you know. They've never seen his face, supposedly, although we show it nonstop now. They're always going to believe his words because they need to. They must. Because his words are their words, just spoken inwardly. And they're too cowardly themselves to do what he does. So they admire him for it. So he's always going to suck in those people. But for me, it's done. There's no doubt. And I'm going to respect her wishes. There was a part that I didn't play again. And I think it's important that I play this last timestamp before we get out of here. Because as Smokey told me that this was just a 13-year-old taking advantage of him. Saying it's nothing more than sexting and misrepresentation of age, and he's the victim here, and one story changes into another, and these idiots praise, I wish I was Smokey Saint, but I'm too cowardly to be Smokey Saint, isn't. There is a real crime here. And it's more than what he's going to lie and tell you it was that his twin brother of a cousin supposedly did. Although why his twin brother of a cousin would need Dr. Kenny Rhodes in the courtroom, I have no idea. There was a real crime here. So we'll watch this last one. And then we'll call it a night, I think. And I'll go to bed. And I'll deal with the repercussions of me ending up home early tonight. For sure.
Well, I'm sure she knows. Do you know about whatever the connection with, for example, his job, whatever, about this Josh person?
Joshua was living in California at the time that I met him. I was living in North Carolina.
So definitely Josh at the time wasn't living in North Carolina, but California, right?
He was living in California, correct. I was living in North Carolina.
Right.
The relationship started online. He flew to North Carolina to see me. Had sex with me, flew back to California. The court happened in North Carolina because sex happened in North Carolina, and because that's where I was living, and I was a minor.
Okay, I hope that answered your question, Tommy.
The sick fuck would literally, fly from California to North Carolina to have sex with this child. But he's going to get so angry when I call it statutory rape. He's going to play the victim. He's going to play that victim card and claim she's the predator. Excuse me. Almost as bad as Smokey's chewing. I'm losing my voice. It's been a somewhat emotional day for me. What happened at work. I had to come home. I was worried for my child, and it proved to be nothing. So that's pretty much what happened. Her ringer was off. So I left work, and now I'm going to have to deal with that tomorrow. Very emotional. I got over it. Now I've watched this, the end of my Icky Taint playlist here. I'll probably spend tomorrow going through and putting that list back on the channel. There was a real crime here. There was a real victim. She came out and she told you what she could. And I really don't know how you would need more than that. And if you need more than that, I would encourage you to watch the whole stream, because after about 40 minutes, I started skipping forward. There was a lot more there that you could see if you haven't seen it yet. But I somebody else gave me another timestamp. Her parents on the phone at 3:01:12. All right, so let's listen to that.
Yeah, don't block praise. You are lying demons.
Hey,
No,
Mom.
you.
Yeah. Can you guys hear my mother?
Yes.
Mom, can you talk? You remember Josh, right?
Huh?
Josh.
Yeah.
Where was I last Wednesday?
Oh.
Where was I on Wednesday last week?
You were at the courthouse?
Yeah, why was I at the courthouse, Mom?
What's going on?
This isn't a trick question. Why was I at the courthouse, Mom?
You were. I am really.
I know you're. I know you're confused. Answer the question. Why was I at the courthouse, Mom?
You were there to read a victim statement.
You're right. I was. Who was I there to read the victim impact statement for, Mom? Who? What was the name of the person?
What's going on?
What was his name?
My mind is going blank because your phone call has kind of alarmed me to begin with.
I know it has. Do you remember what his name was, Mom?
I don't know why my mind's blank. I think it's Josh.
That's right. His name was Josh, Mom.
But what's going on, Michelle? You're really what's going on?
I have somebody questioning me whether or not I'm telling the truth about this. Can you answer one more question for me?
Yeah.
Did you consent to me having a relationship with him?
No.
If you had known about how old he was, is there any way in hell that you would have consented to me having a relationship with him?
No.
How old was he? Do you remember?
He was in college.
Thank you, Mom. How old was I?
You were in the 8th grade.
Thank you. I love you, Mom.
Where are you?
I'm at home. I took you off a speakerphone.
And here, praise, I wish I was a human being. In the side chat is saying, I was informed with real details of the case and she's lied several times. Satori is lying. Firstly, she lied about college in 2004. And her parents consented to have this arrangement. This is vicious. Praise, I wish I was a human being, but I'm not, says, it's public record. You know, this shouldn't just be, the end of Smokey Saint. I think it really needs to be the end of Praise I Am, that I wish I was not what I am. I wish Praise wasn't what he was, honestly. To justify these actions, like the rationale, like of these people that go along with this shit. How do you have personal details of this case, Praise? Have you ever even stopped to ask your dumbass self that question? If this is not Josh? Why did I never get that cease and desist letter? Why is he now threatening to send federal agents to my house to arrest me for being a fucking terrorist? Do you know how laughable that is? Do you know how I don't even own a gun. I'm like anti-gun, anti-war, and you're going to send the FBI here to what? Because I'm a terrorist? Oh my... I mean, it goes to show you how these very weak-minded people can fall for this shit, man. For me, the case is settled. This man has been thoroughly exposed, but at the same time, you know, going through all of this again, and then seeing there that at the end, it's just like, can the battle ever really be over? If I just ignore it completely from here on out, then am I actually doing harm myself? Who knows? I don't know. I just don't know yet. I'll have to think about it. It's very disturbing. And again, I commend her and I commend Thick Shades for having this stream. And, you know, if you really, like, if you haven't seen it all, here, I'll go ahead and throw it in the side chat. So please go and watch all of it. You know, I've been abused by this person, and a lot of you have been abused by this person. You know, Smokey first came into my side chat about 2 years ago and just said these awful, awful things, and so awful that they drew my attention. You know, and for, I don't know, a month, maybe 2 months, Smokey Saint was just a troll in my comment section. I put a video up, had a live stream or something, and Smokey Saint would come in with his fucking comments. And usually they were like a book long, you know, so. Then I saw him on Modern Day Debate. He's actually in a debate with somebody, and it might have even been like a debate with John Maddox, the Mad Ducks, and they were just like being just not even interlocutors in a debate, just abusers, just there to insult and degrade the atheists they were debating against. And he promoted a channel, and I realized that this dude had a YouTube channel. And I was like, all right, you know, I've been through this YouTube war. It started, you know, on my first channel that I had before I made The Raging Atheist. I had my first ever YouTube war. His name was Mad Black Atheist, and he was this like super conservative atheist dude. Did a lot of fucked up shit after our little war that I learned about much later that eventually got him booted off of YouTube. But he was this like conservative black dude from the South that just found my little political channel, like Life Considered, I called it, and decided to start trolling me. So we had this back and forth, and he'd make videos about me, and I made videos about him. I had no idea what like a YouTube war was back then. And then I made The Raging Atheist, and I just made videos for a while, and I started streaming. But right before I started streaming, I met my first ever self-proclaimed preacher, hate preacher at that, you know, Matt Powell. After he started trolling me in my comments. We met face-to-face one time. Then we met face-to-face again. I had reasons, he had reasons. That second conversation got blown up in this fucking movie he made, and hence my second major YouTube war. But Smokey has been different because it didn't just blow into this like YouTube war where I went on to Mad Duck's channel when we had our first conversation, and it was just this like this tirade where you would if you were like if you didn't know who was who, if you didn't know I was the Raging Atheist and he was Smokey Saint, you would swear to fucking God that he was the Raging Atheist and I was the Christian because he just went the fuck off. And it has never improved since. I can think about the stream where I went into Smokey's channel and he had this fucking crazy ass atheist dude on who was just popping off the N-word every fucking 30 seconds, and it was this shit show about how people should have the freedom to use the N-word, and I was just white knighting for Black Lives Matter. Honor that I must stand up for her. And even though we didn't get along, she came on my channel and stood up for herself against this abuser. I remember him going after Mama Atheist and Speed and John, and then it just took this really dark turn with me where he had had enough. Will Kincaid decided to switch on over to Smokey and give him some information. If you want to beat Knock, I'm going to help you. And they started going at me personally. They started coming after my kid. They started showing my Facebook page and giving any justification for it that they could. Within showing my Facebook page, they doxed YouTubers that I'm friends with. But more importantly, they showed the names of my family members, potentially putting them in harm. Started showing my daughter's face, accusing me of doing vile things. At first, it was just ice cream cones and why are you kissing your child? As if that's some kind of bad thing for a parent to show their child affection. And you guys have seen it recently, right? Just blatantly saying I raped my child. No. I'm the raper. I'm the pedophile. Just like they're saying Thick Shades is the pedophile. Like they said Speed was the pedophile. It's the same thing, the same dance over and over and over again. But it's more than just abuse here on the internet. It's more than just what he has said, his harsh words and his harsh treatment of us here. Because in the real world, there's real life implications to a man like this. And we have seen that here tonight. It has been, over the course of the past week, I think thoroughly documented on several channels at this point. Hours upon hours of streams. How will Smokey respond? I don't think anybody should care. Should have sent me that cease and desist a long time ago, Josh. But you couldn't. Because you're Josh. I want to thank you guys for joining me. It's been a long journey, 2 years. And it doesn't compare to what she went through. Not one bit. I'm glad it's over. Y'all have a good night.